Are you worried about today's dire financial situation?
Put simply, I would argue the Biden economic plan is working.
The storms on Wall Street continue today after regulators seized the assets of Silicon Valley Bank, marking the largest bank failure since the 2008 financial crisis.
Do you worry you'll have enough to pay your mortgage, pay your children's college tuition, enough to retire?
I believe our banking system remains strong.
Regional banks in focus once again today as the market digests the fallout of the First Republic failure.
You have questions, we have answers. It's the Gold Standard with Ken Russo and Jennifer Horn.
Thank you for joining us on the Gold Standard Radio Show. Ken Russo and Jennifer Horn back together again. And I'm super excited because this weekend we're dialing in AI. You know, we
are.
We don't want to lose our jobs here on the radio, but we thought we could bring in a third member of this team and do a little digging with artificial intelligence. I'm excited.
How's
for
your
that.
day going today?
It's, I feel like it's pretty good. How about yours?
I'm having a good day. There's no squatters at my home. I checked my bank account. The funds, the digits are still there.
Good. That's a check.
My wife hasn't asked me for any money today.
That's good.
It's a great day.
How about your co-host? Hey, Ken, you have some money for me? Just say no, I don't. Yeah. I'm like
I have
Richard
some
Nixon.
fiat for you.
Right.
Yeah, some paper money.
We hope you're all having a great week as well. It feels like the spring is springing, that's for sure already.
Things are heating up, Jen. Things are heating up.
Like the price of gold.
I don't know if people are following the price of gold.
Ooh.
And silver was up real big today. Things are starting to heat up.
Yep, and we're here for it. But before we jump into this week's topics, Ken, we always like to set the stage. We always like to figure out how we got into the situation that we're in. And to do this, I mean, we could go through the long history, but really we kind of cut to the chase. We go to 1971.
What situation are we in?
Well,
the mental patients are leading our country?
Chaos reigns supreme. It's the word of the day, as our friend Charlie Kirk might like to say. But we have to go back to 1971. Richard Nixon is sitting in the White House.
I was 2 years old.
You were 2. I was just a mere glimmer in the eyes of my parents. And he's probably sitting around, maybe enjoying a little drink here or there, right?
Oh, absolutely.
And then he says,
give me another one.
this idea of this gold backing our dollar, we don't need to do that.
We don't need this gold.
What, are you crazy? And so here we are. We now
don't
have
need
fiat
balanced
currency.
budgets.
No.
We don't need a strong currency. We're going to do this for the benefit of the United States dollar. I've instructed Governor Connolly, Treasury Connolly, to suspend the convertibility of dollar into gold. And
it was like a money party over at that White House, wasn't it?
You know what I think it was, Jen? It was all these central banks that they all just wanted to get together, and they just wanted to have total reign on money printing. Governments want to have total reign on unlimited debt. And all of that is what's coming apart today.
Right.
And it's been building and building and building. And once in a while it pops. And, and then it builds up again. Yeah, and then they print more money and it builds up again and then it pops.
Yep.
And now we're in the everything bubble, where the bubble is big as it's ever been.
And when you say the everything bubble, before we jump into AI, because I think this is important.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that, Claude AI.
Yeah. If people say, Ken, what's the situation right now? Because I feel like there's a lot of inflation. I feel like I'm paying more. I feel like my dollar that I've worked so hard to earn is not going as far as it used to. If people want to get an idea of what the situation is, when you say the bubble grows and then it pops and then it grows and we're in this huge bubble now, what does that mean?
Well, it means pretty much like you said, our dollar is buying less. The government prints money. They borrow money through bonds and they create these deficit spending. And now we're in $35 trillion of deficits, debt, which is probably a lot more than that.
Yeah.
But it's a function of unlimited money printing, and then that leads to lower, purchasing power for our dollar. It leads to inflation in different things. Now, some of the things that have inflated over the last 20 or 30 years is like real estate has inflated.
Definitely.
Some stock prices have inflated. Okay. Bonds were inflated for 40 years. We were in a good bond market. So those were all benefits of this fake fiat money. We built a military. Unfortunately, we feel like we have to use it all the time and spend trillions of dollars and, bomb places, and military industrial complex is a huge problem of what's happening. But it's the lack of discipline for money printing, monetary policy. It's the lack of having balanced budgets, which has led, in my opinion, to a casino-like mentality, especially on Wall Street. And, back in the late 90s, there was a lot of warnings from people saying, hey, this debt is going to be a problem and these financial derivatives are an issue. And there was a chance where we could have made things right, maybe made the banks a little bit safer, but we did the exact opposite. And we passed laws which really didn't address the derivative situation. Derivatives are these financial contracts which, a lot of these Wall Street banks use to try and rig the markets, in essence. But it's made things a lot more leveraged.
Right.
It's made these markets very, very risky. It's made the banks unstable. And it's made our purchasing power of our paper money lose a lot of value. Now, a lot of this, Jen, has been seen by other countries and other dynasties, the Spanish Armada and the French and even the Weimar Republic back in the 30s. They experienced hyperinflation, which is the devaluation of our money, the devaluation of our paper money. Why does a Happy Meal cost $5, 20 years ago, and why does it cost $15 today?
And even more, maybe in California with the $20 minimum wage.
So a lot of this inflation we used to, export to other countries, and then they used to send us refrigerators and products and all this stuff. And these other countries used to use the dollars to buy our debt. But now a lot of that is changing, where a lot of these other countries don't want to own our debt because they see it as toxic. They see the leadership of our country, which is embarrassing. They see the deficit spending that's going on. They see this debt that's never going to be repaid. So they're saying to themselves, well, why is this dollar considered to be so safe?
Show's over.
Yeah. So that is kind of where we're at today. And what I want people to understand is that there's been one form of money for thousands of years that has held its value. It's, you can hold it yourself. You can control it yourself. It's private. It doesn't have to be part of this new digital system that we're going to have. You don't have to keep it somewhere else where someone else looks after it. You could hold it yourself. And historically, it has held its purchasing power and has gained purchasing power, unlike our paper money.
Right.
Unfortunately, the Wall Street banks really can't make money off of gold, physical gold.
They don't love to promote it.
The bank advisors can't make money off of physical gold. The banks can't lend physical gold out like they do our deposits and earn interest and make money on that either. So it's just a rock.
Yeah.
It's a relic. It's not really fancy and sexy, but $1 of gold,
safe.
50 years ago is now worth $80 worth of gold. And $1 50 years ago when President Nixon took us off of the gold standard is worth, 15 cents. It's lost anywhere from 95 to 98% of its value against the U.S. dollar. So we have a lot of privacy issues. We have safety issues. We have a purchasing power issue. We have a huge bubble. We have a casino-like market right now. Everybody is afraid to miss out. There's a lot of debt out there, corporate debt, government debt, even private debt. A lot of people are using credit cards. We're getting very close, Jen, to something very, very bad happening. And like I've said many times to you before, there isn't any amount of money that they can print, and there isn't any amount of money that they can borrow that's going to stop what's coming. I was speaking to a client the other day, and they said to me, Ken, it's good versus evil. And I said, it is. And eventually we're going to come out of this better. But
it might hurt.
In the meantime, there's going to be a cleansing. I want you to think of this, Jen, as like the financial system is being cleansed. And during that process, how much are you going to have left when that cleansing is over?
Right.
And that's where the gold and the silver comes into play. And I actually think, I was telling a client this the other day, if gold does the same thing that it's done in the last 20 years, going forward, it's $20,000 gold. And right now we're getting close to $2,300 gold, and we were probably at $2,000 gold just at the end of last year.
Yeah.
So you're starting to see the price of gold reflect. It's forecasting that we are going to have a currency crisis, and the price of gold is forecasting that something around the corner with debt or with the markets, it's going to happen.
It's coming.
And it's going to be pretty bad.
Yeah. And that's why it's really important to get a hold of our friends over at Midas Gold Group, 855-322-GOLD, 855-322-4653. And you can call them. They're America First Patriots. They're veteran-owned. They can help you through this. If you're looking for a new gold buyer, they're fantastic. It's not a call center. You're going to get really good personal attention. If you're brand new to gold, you want to talk to Midas because they're going to take you through all of this. And this is what's really important. You want to trust the folks that are helping you make your financial decisions. And you can do that with Midas Gold Group, 855-322-GOLD, 855-322-4653, MidasGoldGroup.com. Now, I know you did a little exercise. We've only got a couple minutes left in this segment. Mm-hmm. But I think maybe we start here because you decided, hey, what does AI know? How did this even come about? You talked to Claude AI? Is that what you did?
Yeah, I joined up Claude AI. And
I would love to see how that relationship started.
Did you see the movie iRobot years ago?
I did not, no.
It's weird.
Yeah.
So I wanted to go on to the Claude AI, and I wanted to ask it some questions.
Yep.
And I wanted to see what answers it was going to spew out. And the answers, and the question I asked was, what are the benefits, Claude AI, of owning gold?
Right.
And I wanted to see, what kind of, the answers just come out.
I know, it's amazing, right?
It's like all these digits, it's like weird. And
if any of you haven't used AI yet, try it just for something very basic to see what it tells you, because it is amazingly powerful. So how about this? How about we tell the good folks how to talk to Midas Gold Group? We'll come back and we'll reveal what Claude AI actually said to you about owning gold, because that was the question you asked, right?
Yeah. I wanted to know from, the intelligent artificial intelligence beings, the higher level. Yeah.
Did you hear that?
Yeah. It's weird. But I wanted to ask him, why should anyone own gold? And I wanted to see what he had to say, and I'd like to talk about that with the folks at home.
All right, so we're going to talk about what Claude AI, your new best buddy.
Yes, my friend.
I feel like I've been pushed out of the way in the best friend world. You've just brought in Claude.
I don't have many friends. Like, oh, here comes pessimistic Ken. Here he comes. Let's, not exactly the most popular guy at the party.
855, I don't buy that. 855-322-4653. You're the most popular guy at my party. 855-322-GOLD. You can always go online for all the great resources. MidasGoldGroup.com. And there's more up ahead. It's the Gold Standard Radio Show with Ken Russo and Jennifer Horn.
Dr. Gorka here. You're listening to the Gold Standard with your hosts, Ken Russo from veteran-owned Midas Gold Group and Jennifer Horn. Owning private money in the form of physical gold and silver is perhaps more important than ever to your long-term financial security. As U.S. banks fail, the Biden administration sends hundreds of billions abroad while depleting our strategic oil reserves. However, the biggest financial threat may be coming from within: central bank digital currency. The patents have been filed and the big banks have released plans for implementation. Midas Gold Group sees tyrannical implications, the end of cash, the end of financial privacy, big government able to see your every purchase. Could there be ties to social credit? Hear more commentary on the political and economic issues that affect your financial security right here on the Gold Standard. You can create your own Gold Standard with a call to Midas Gold Group, 855-322-GOLD. That's 855-322-4653, MidasGoldGroup.com.
Welcome back. It is a Gold Standard Radio Show. Ken Russo, Jennifer Horn, and Claude AI.
Ken AI,
You're Ken
Jen AI, and Claude AI.
I have to tell you, that does scare me because
it's
I have
weird.
a feeling that all of us dummies, all of us humanoids, we are going to be replaced by AI at some point.
I can't do that, Dave.
Mike AI.
I know, we got Mike AI
Producer
running the
Mike
board.
AI. So what did we ask Claude AI?
Yeah. So so you decide, I'm just going to see what this is like. You've got Reggie who wanders
And
around in your
I wrote a
office.
blog about it too. So if
I love
anybody
it.
wants to go to MidasGoldGroup.com and read the latest blog, you could read about Claude AI and my experience, my interaction with Claude AI.
Okay, I love
Yeah.
it. Okay, so you get this interaction. The question that you
Yes.
ask is,
I asked Claude, what are the benefits of owning gold? And what did he say, Jen?
all right, so let's go through this because you gave me the printout, basically,
Yes.
the readout of what your new
Let's
friend
read our
Claude
notes here.
says.
Yes. Well, because
So-
the answers come out like on the screen. You know, it's like all these.
And it's about 10 seconds. Just
It's weird.
All right, so the first thing that Claude AI says is that gold is a hedge against inflation. Sounds
And
true
what's
to me.
inflation, right, is the devaluation of our money.
That's
and so
right.
we have one asset, which is paper, that loses value. That's inflation.
Mm-hmm.
And we have one asset that, kind of keeps up with that
Yeah.
price, like gold is doing right now. We mentioned the other day that I think in the last 4 years, prices have gone up 20%, and the
amazing.
price of gold was up over 50%.
Right.
So gold is a hedge against inflation.
And that's definitely, I think, the bottom line with
And
gold.
so I
First
would
thing
say
to know.
Claude AI,
Check.
check.
All right.
Correct.
Cha-ching.
Yes.
Okay, next up, he says gold offers portfolio diversification.
You don't have to be invested totally in mutual funds,
Right.
bonds, paper.
In fact, this is what we tell people, that there really should be kind of like buckets, right? You want
Even Claude AI knows that you shouldn't have all of your assets
your eggs in
tied up to the banking system or the Wall Street market.
Yeah.
You should have some diversification, and that comes in an easy way in the form of gold and physical silver.
You don't want all your stinky artificial eggs in one artificial basket.
So I would say for portfolio diversification, Claude AI, check.
Check.
Cha-ching.
Ching.
Okay.
All right, next up on the list, gold is a tangible asset. I mean, I can just tell you that.
It could be
Cha-ching.
paper.
It
Now,
could
Wall
be.
Street will say, let's put you into a gold mutual fund or
Sure.
let's put you into a gold ETF. But in our opinion at Midas Gold Group, if you don't hold it, you don't own it. And that's where the privacy aspect comes into play. That's where the control aspect comes
Yeah.
into play. So Claude AI,
Cha-ching.
3 for 3,
3 for
because
3.
gold is, in our opinion, the best form of being in a tangible asset.
And look, I'm just going to say it's one of the most important things here that I think we should underscore. Everything is going crazy around us. If you're listening to this show, you know that our leadership, that the banks, that everything
It's
just seems
heating up.
a little wild,
Yeah,
right?
things are heating up
You've
here.
got-
I mean, you don't need to be a market expert or a
Right.
person who pays attention 24/7, but
whether it's a cyber attack, whether it's a power grid issue, whether it's a
Yeah.
bubble bursting,
whether if it's a
digital
boat crashing
currency
into a
starting up.
bridge, whether it's crazy stuff.
Have something at home to protect yourself. That would just be me. Have something tangible, right?
And I would say that you are one of the smartest women that I've ever met in my life,
For a woman. Thank you for.
and men.
Now I'm no Claude AI. All right, so Claude AI. One of the reasons to own gold. The next one, he says gold provides liquidity.
Claude AI is right. If you need, if a bill comes up, or if your kids inherit your gold, or if you need to raise liquidity for whatever reason, you can sell gold. And
You got
Midas
it.
Gold Group is a buyer of gold every day. We've actually been told that we make it very, very easy to buy somebody's gold. We've been told that we offer some of the best, fairest prices in the industry. So does gold provide liquidity? Is it easily convertible back to living expense money, Claude AI?
Yes, cha-ching.
There you go.
And by the way, the thing that you enlightened me on is that there are some other companies out there, maybe bigger gold companies, that might try to sell you all kinds of like weird stuff that
Well, they
doesn't
do.
have the resale value that some of the stuff
They
that
do,
you
and
offer
there's a
is.
bunch of names out there
Yeah.
that are servicing the conservative-minded folk audience. They've been treated wrongly, those folks, and if they want a new gold dealer, they should call Midas Gold Group, and we can give them our opinion.
855-322-4653, 855-322-GOLD. All right, back to Claude AI. Gold is a safe haven.
Yeah, you don't have to
Cha-ching.
keep all of your money at the bank, right? You could hold it yourself as long as you're taking the proper precautions to keep your gold or your other valuables safe.
So they said this is like protective, basically. Is that what they mean by safe haven?
I think it means that it will always have value.
It's always got something.
That's right. It's
Okay.
You could always count on it. Even in a time of volatility, you say, I can
Safe,
count
secure.
on my gold. It's there. I know it's there. I can get to it.
Yeah, safe,
I don't have
secure,
to rely
steady.
on anybody else to. So I would say, is gold a safe haven? Claude AI, is gold a safe haven?
Cha-ching. Oh, wait, Claude.
It is, Dave. It is safe.
Who knew we'd have
that
him
guy,
here?
Claude AI just got a little freakier.
I know.
A little, yeah.
I know. All right, next up on the list, physical gold has no counterparty risk.
That means that the asset doesn't have to be held and controlled by another entity.
It's yours.
That's right.
Love it.
Well, and it's important because how scary is the system right now? I was fooling around before when I said I checked my bank account and the digits were still there.
They were there.
It wasn't that funny. That's serious.
I know.
Okay, and there's a lot of rogue traders out there. There's a lot of derivatives. So there's a lot that can go wrong. It's really important that you control some of your money.
Absolutely.
You control some of your IRA. You control some of your old 401k, your retirement assets. It's really important that you control some of that money that you really tried to work hard for and save.
Yeah. This is the thing. You said you said discipline.
Right.
In the last segment, you said something about discipline. And I was just thinking about that in our own lives. Our private citizens, freedom-loving people listening to this program, exercise discipline with their financial investments, right? We don't spend more than we have in most cases. If we have credit, we then have to pay that back. We have to pay it back with interest. We take that on. The government is not being disciplined. So this allows you a way to just keep everything under one roof in your own control. And I think that's important.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah, we talk about complying all the time, but
Drunken
discipline is
sailors
a good, Why should we have to suffer the consequences
of their lack of discipline?
That's right.
Yep. All right. So next on the list, Claude AI says, gold has been used as a long-term store of value. Cha-ching.
Claude AI.
This guy's pretty good.
Bullseye Claude AI.
That rhymes.
Yeah.
Bullseye, Claude
But
AI.
yeah, I mean, it's a long-term store of value. We talk about it all the time. You know, an ounce of gold used to be $30 an ounce. Now it's $2,000 and almost $300 per ounce. An ounce of gold back in the 70s when our famous, event occurred by taking, the dollar off the gold standard. An ounce of gold from that period of time is now worth $80 worth of gold versus a dollar being worth 15 cents. So our paper money is not a store of value.
Right.
So in essence, by definition, it's not money, it's currency. But the gold is money because it retains and holds its value and actually increases because what you could have bought 20 years ago with that ounce of gold or 50 years ago or even 90 or 100 years ago, you can still buy that same amount of goods with the same amount of gold.
It's amazing.
It holds its value.
Yeah.
So I actually think that it's going to reflect all of the value our money's going to lose. I think it's going to reflect a much higher price after our markets have a very difficult time and they let a lot of air out of this bubble. Like I said, we are going to have a cleansing of the financial system and we are going to have a cleansing of our currency and of the markets. And it would be a really smart idea, Jen, to hide out with some of your money in some gold and some silver while that all plays out.
Right. You want to protect your wealth. We've talked about the difference between wealth creation, wealth protection. Gold helps protect your wealth. So all in all, by the way, we want to tell people you can do all of this. You have questions, you want a new gold dealer, you want to buy, sell, Midas Gold Group, 855-322-4653, 855-322-GOLD, always MidasGoldGroup.com for all of the resources, podcasts, articles, everything. So all in all, I think we have to give Claude AI an A+ on this, right?
Yeah.
Would you add anything
I would say
else?
it's intelligent. Well, the only thing that I would say is that Claude AI didn't bring up the issue of privacy.
Yeah, he did not.
And that's very important because we all know we're going to be headed towards a system that's monitored and controlled, and they want to know everything that we do.
What's private right now?
Reported and all this stuff. So I would say privacy should have been added to the list. So on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd give Claude AI a 9.
I think that's pretty good, though.
I'd give him a 9.
For 15 seconds worth of work.
And for exactly.
How sad is that?
Well, that's what's scary is because you just type in one sentence and 3 pages of stuff just comes out.
You go, Claude, give everybody else a job here. But that's okay. I think it's important that we run this through. So it's not just us. Artificial intelligence is telling you all of these great things about gold. If you want to find them out for yourself, MidasGoldGroup.com, you are going to get blogs. You are going to get product catalogs. You're going to get podcasts. You're going to get all kinds of resources that you need. And you're going to check it out, MidasGoldGroup.com, or you want to do this in person, when can you ever go visit a gold dealer in person? You go do it by seeing them in Thousand Oaks, California, Midas Gold Group, or in Phoenix, Arizona. This is really important stuff because you can see them face to face.
And at the Inland Empire on Sunday, if anybody wants to come to the Conservative Summit.
At the Doubletree Hotel in Ontario on
do
Sunday, April 7th. 855-322-4653. 855-322-GOLD. 855-322-4653. You can always text the word GOLD 232425. They get right back to you. Thanks for joining us. It's a Gold Standard Radio Show with Ken Russo and Jennifer Horn.